Gotta do a carburetor rebuild on a 2002 Recon. It's 250 obviously. And the other one, foiler, which is not in here, it's going to be a 2004 Rancher 350. Yeah, someone left the carburetor floats full of that crappy ethanol gas, and it ate all the freaking seals out. So now it leaks gas like a sieve all over the place. But the good news is I got some new gaskets, carburetor rebuild kits, jets, pilots, you know, all that good stuff. So be rebuilding those one at a time and show you how to do a little bit here and there. I'm no professional, but I'll get her done. So I got into this, and then I realized, you know, I might as well do some filming on it. So I took the air box off, or it's apart, and I took the filter out of it. It sits in there like this, and there's a bracket that goes on there like that. Perfect. Wonderful. Take a couple screws out there laying here on the table. Then we pop out two little plastic pieces that hold this in there and loosen up the boot. Okay, there's a tie around it, and then the breather tube, you need to loosen that one up. And then you can take this out of here, which is a little bit hard with one hand. Gotta get it. You know, work that breather tube off, and then this comes out. And down there, you'll need a pair of vice grips or channel locks. Needle nose pliers, you can get that. And this comes right off. Okay, something else I want to show you guys is, look. I got on sale, yeah, it's cobalt, but it's a 227 piece tool set, which is really nice. It's got, you know, quarter drive, 3/8 drive, half-inch drive, extensions, bunch of sockets, both American Standard and metric, deep well. It's got bigger deep wells, regular ones. You know, it's got all the goodies, and then just odds and ends that I bought. Universal, like U-jointy ones and adapters, all that good stuff. Allen wrenches. But back over here on the four-wheeler itself, it's probably gonna be metric, and I would guess it's either gonna be, it's probably gonna be a 12 mil. But over here, as you can see, if you can see in there, right here, probably more like a 10 mil, there's two bolts that hold that carburetor onto the engine itself. So I'm just gonna get to taking that out. Maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. You know, I'll try and film it. But anyway, go to Lowe's. That cobalt set for 227 piece set is on sale for $100. Maybe you guys aren't in the cobalt. I know they're not the nicest tools, but they're not the worst either, so you know, get her done. I got those two little nuts off. They're right here. They are both 10 mil. Then over here in your carb, you can disconnect all these wires or no wires. Stupid me. These breather tubes and gas lines, and the carburetor comes right off like so. Okay, magic. See that? These two studs there. You gotta be careful with these little nuts. I did round one. Still usable, but you gotta be careful. They're just aluminum. So I'll get to taking this all apart, and then I'll show you how to disassemble the carburetor. Okay, so the carburetor's off. Gotta disassemble all this. You're just mostly gonna need, you know, Phillips head screwdrivers. Be careful taking these screws out. If you have, which I do not have, it's like a impact screwdriver. You know, you put it in there and you hit it with a hammer. Bam! You know, it breaks those loose so that you don't strip them. And it's a lot nicer. Also, I didn't run this until the bowl was empty, so I spilled some of the excess fuel from the bowl on my cardboard here. But you know, in there's the butterfly run by the cable on the thumb throttle over there. And all you do is take a little screw out here which holds the cable in place like so, right? And then you pull the cable up here like this and it just pulls right out. Real easy, because if you disassemble all this stuff, take this off, this spring in there, you could lose it. You don't really want all. Plus then you have to remember how everything goes back together. So I'm just going to take all these hoses off, which I don't have anyone to help me film. Jeremy's not here tonight. He's being a bum. He's got to work in the morning or something like that, so he's sleeping. Just pull these off at a time. Just remember where they go. Magic, look at that. And then I'll disassemble this hole, which really all I need that needs replaced is the gaskets on this, because that's really what went bad. But I just got a whole carburetor rebuild kit, because that's, you know, it's easier that way. Just redo it all. Something else you could do before you start into this is spray all the outside of this down with Carb cleaner, but I decided not to. So there you go. There's your float. And your jets are in here. You know, check the bottom of this, make sure there's no dirt or gunk in there, and spray it out. Spray through that breather hole. It's right there. Sure hope y'all can see this because there's no one helping me film. And there's one of the gaskets right there. So you just pop that out, set that aside, it's junk. And yeah. So I'm pretty sure I got everything in there. Here it's for a 250 Recon 01 to 04. So let's just tear that apart. Yeah, it seems like everything's there. Your pilot jet and your main jet, I'm not actually sure. I'm not professional, so someone out there is probably going to leave hate comments, but whatever. Screw them. Don't care. You just got to send in length. This one you may have to count. Let's see. Quarter, half, 3/4, 1, quarter, half, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4. Do that, you just drive out this little pin. You do it from this side here, because you do it one side, you know, seats it, one side doesn't. Push that through, float comes off. Right, so find a tool that I can do that with. I might have like a ice pick or a punch or something. Oh, you know what would be the perfect tool, guys? The perfect. So, the perfect tool for getting this out, this float off. But I'm just going to use an Allen wrench and push it through. Because, you know, you gotta make do with what you got. Just find an Allen that'll fit it, but first, that one might just be the right size. Oh, touch big. This one will work. Push that through. Come on. obviously there's like float jet, and I don't know if it came with one of those float thing. I don't think it did. That's okay though. We'll make it work. Probably want to work with a cleaner surface than I'm working with here. Also already took, well, to get the carburetor out, you have to take the slide out. So I did that. And the fuel pump here, I don't know if that could be one of the problems, but maybe it's not, who knows. Another trick that you can do is on some of your things that you need to know where they're at, like these jets and stuff. Take a little marker, mark where it is, and that's where to start from. So as you're turning, you know when you make a full turn. It's important. Otherwise, you'll be monkeying around with it all day trying to get it back to where it was set at, which is no fun. No fun at all. But this is the part that really went bad here. This gasket on the float around the float area, the bowl area. Freaking ethanol just destroys these, so you just want to take this out. Probably with a pretty light wire brush, you just brush it clean. Put in your new one. You know, because that one is junk. So I'll get a wire brush and just give it a scrub around the outside here. Clean that up. And of course, carb cleaner, you know. Gotta clean it, so I'll just take this and give it a scrub, kind of get the junk out of there. The small engines, they just really don't like ethanol, especially the older stuff. Early 2000s snowmobiles and four-wheelers. Well, this four-wheeler is not actually mine. It's my brother's one, he rides, but before I store anything that's mine, like my snowmobile, I usually put a fuel stabilizer in it. I also only run 93s, premium pump gas, but I put a fuel stabilizer in it, like a Startron or a Sta-Bil or something, you know. So you just, you know, kind of scrape that off as best you can there, without marring the surface. If you want it to seal pretty good. You just take your carb cleaner that you have. Currently I have the cheap generic brand stuff, but you know, they all seem to work pretty well. I'm just cleaning something, not out here trying to make millions. So just kind of pick that up. Clean some stuff out. Safety squints here. Some of you may wear gloves. It's probably a good idea instead of getting it all over your hands. So it's pretty clean. I'll just set that aside, and I'll spray out the rest of my car, shoot it through the passageways, all that good stuff. I'll just point to what I'm going to shoot through. I'm going to shoot it through this and this one, this passage and this passage. And I'll just spray it around in there a bit, and then I'll shoot it down where the slide is, and through these three passages up here, if you can see, I don't know, and spray it around on the top of the bowl. I'll spray that float off, and the float jet here, needle thing, and yeah, should be good. Safety squints. It's all clean. I'm not actually trying to do this perfect here. Going riding here in the next weekend up at maybe some of you know where it's at. It's Majestic Trails. And oh man, maybe you should have a fan on using this stuff, huh? It's pretty bad. And yeah, so that's where we're gonna go riding. because you don't need insurance or registration, which this four-wheeler does not have. But yeah, same way you put it back together, or took it apart is how you put it back together. So coming back together, got the carburetor back in there. Gonna throw away the old junk gaskets, and I am not a sentimental person, so I am going to get rid of. I gotta take my carburetor back off. I forgot to install these two pieces here. Oh well. So I'll get back to you when I fix it. Carburetor is reinstalled and the stud bolts are back on, or nuts I should say, and gonna finish up the airbox, put it back in there, get this a little cleaning, and should be ready to go. So till the next one, Rancher 350.